You don't know, you damn well should know. My name is Rag Reynolds and I'm back today to once again talk about dummies on social media and how outraged they get over stupid little things. I'm a guy who has never once claimed to be some beacon of morality. I have never once said I'm a super nice guy. In fact, I repeatedly say I am not a nice guy. I repeatedly call myself a bad guy. Time after time I say outrageous things, I do outrageous things, and in general I act in a way that, yes, I would not consider to be nice, and it's probably quite rude, obnoxious, and sometimes nasty. I have never tried to hide that fact, and I have never once said that that wasn't the case. What I am is a man of integrity. I tend to think that I'm quite a fair guy. I like to think that. I live by certain rules. I have a certain code in my life and I live by that. I have my own set of moral principles. I live to my set of guidelines and I do not stray from those. I'm not a guy who's going out into the street and punching toddlers in the face, although I may joke about it. I'm also not a guy who's going out there and stabbing people or raping women. I don't do any of these horrible scumbag things. However, I am not adverse to being rude to people on the internet or telling people what I think, regardless of their feelings or thoughts. I'm a blunt person. And I'm quite obnoxious as well. And maybe that makes me a horrible guy. But you know what? I really don't care. Now with that said, I want to talk to you all about what happened on Instagram last night. So I've got two other videos detailing messages I receive on Instagram, all the hundreds and hundreds of direct messages I get on Instagram, people sending me death threats, being really nasty to me, and for the most part I think it's a bit of fun. But at the same time I tend to think that if you're going to message someone saying horrible things to them in any manner, then you need to be able to take it back. I don't care what age you are, I don't care what race you are, I don't care what gender you are. If you're nasty to me, I'm going to be nasty to you. It's that simple. If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen, as they say. So I got this message from this account, and they said, "Why do you hate Australia?" So I just playing along and I said, "For good reason." They said, "What reason?" I said, "A good one." And then they said, "So you just some loser who saw's stupid, you think Australia isn't real, or you just doing it for the views and likes. Either way, it still makes you a loser. So why don't you get a life and cut the crap?" So I said, "Says the loser who's crying at some random guy on the internet." And then they said, "At least I'm a loser with a life." So then I said, "Wrong," because I misspelled wrong, so then I said wrong, I clarified. And they said, "You sure? Maybe you want to spend time thinking about that and the correct way of spelling wrong." So I thought, okay, now this kid is trying to tell me that I'm an idiot for misspelling a word. I made a typo that I did correct. Meanwhile, they have made countless typos in the messages that they just sent me. So I thought, okay, let's screenshot their typos and send them back to them and tell them right after you learn English. Now maybe I could have been the bigger person here and just ignored that. Maybe I shouldn't have engaged because it was a kid. But hey, I couldn't tell it was a kid. I didn't know it was a kid. I'm not going to show their picture. I've got it blurred out. I couldn't see that it was a kid. I was reading the messages. I get so many of these. I've not got the time to click on the profiles and look at who's in each of them. I still don't know how old this person is. I don't know if they're 16. I don't know if they're 12. I don't know. But regardless, as I said, I don't care how old they are. I don't care about their race. I don't care about their gender. I don't care about who they are. I just care about the fact that they said that I need to learn how to spell, so I was just returning the favour, so to speak. Anyway, a few hours later, I get a long message from the same account. "Excuse me, I am the parent of this account, and how dare you speak to my child like this? After watching the video about Australia, she was very upset as many people at her school had also seen that video and started to pick on her for being Australian. So obviously she tried to confront you about it. She is diagnosed with dyslexia, so has difficulty reading, writing and spelling, which has also made her a target at school. When you mentioned what you said about her learning English, she showed it to me and I was disgusted. You don't know what is going on in her, and she doesn't know what is going on in your life. But she is a child, and I'm guessing you're way older than her, but you retaliating to her just makes you a baby. As you said, you're a random guy on the internet who couldn't even just look at the text my child sent you and just not respond. Be the bigger person. Be nice, kind person, which I have discovered you are not. So, the first thing goes through my mind is this actually this child's parent? They're making loads of mistakes. Maybe it is the same kid who just typed this out, and that's why it took like 3 hours to get the next message, because they wanted to make sure it was all as close to being correct as possible. Maybe they took my advice and started learning English and then came back with this. I don't know. But the thing I love about this message, it's like this woman is trying to put the blame on me for her child being picked on at school for being Australian. As if that's somehow my fault. She doesn't care that her daughter is on the internet sending some hate mail to people. She doesn't care about that. What she cares about is the fact that I actually responded to her. How dare I respond? I didn't say anything nasty to the girl. I thought I was quite nice there. And I'm saying this, I'm not a nice guy, but I thought I was being nice there. It was nice for me anyway. Anyway, I probably should have left it there. But I didn't. I said, don't care, bum. Put her back where she came from. She's the one who messaged me abuse. Maybe you should have told her the truth about Australia when she was younger. Then she wouldn't be such an ignorant brat. Now my intention with this was really just to rile up whoever sent this message. If it was the kid, she was probably hoping that she was going to scare me off writing this message. Oh, I'm getting my mum to you. And that probably goes either way, so the child was probably upset if they saw this message or if they were the one who wrote that long message. But if it was actually a mother who wrote that, they would probably be pretty riled up as well. So all in all, I thought, good move by me. So a little bit later I get a response. How dare you post this on your story? You didn't have my permission. You are so rude and even you know it. Yeah, I forgot to mention I started posting all of this on my Instagram story as it was happening. She wasn't too pleased about that. As if I actually need permission to share negative and outrageous messages that people send me. How dare you call my child a brat? Now that is too far. She may have gone a bit far too, but at least she didn't call you a brat. As if brat is like the worst word she could ever have been called. The B word. Far worse than the N word or the C word or the F word. It was the B word, and no, not bitch. It was brat. And I wonder how the hell you got through school, cause you are dumb. Oh, I'm so upset. I'm so sad cause you called me dumb. So I responded. I decided to be the bigger person at this point. I thought, okay, this woman is beyond all help. So I responded with a nice old meme. How to cut expenses on the family budget. Needless to say, I then got blocked. All of this was on my story, and I thought that was going to be the end of it. I had a little rant on my story about it, I was laughing about it, and then I started getting a bunch of DMs, stuff like this. OMG, you are so rude and disgusting. How dare you speak to a child like that? Here's some advice next time. Just ignore the criticism. What the fuck, you call a random child a brat? Why is brat such a big deal? I don't understand. It's just brat. 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 Brat! Brat. What is the big deal about that word? I have suddenly lost all respect in you. You are so rude. That is not true. The way you responded was not nice at all. The kid wasn't abusing you. If that's what you call abuse, I worry for you. And you didn't not at all respond nicely to the parent or child, you asshole. So I said cry more, I don't care. Because I really don't care. Yes, what the child was saying to me wasn't abuse to the standards of what I usually get, but I didn't think it was nice either. She was calling me a loser, telling me to get a life. She's the one who messaged me, obviously looking for a fight, saying, why do you hate Australia? Sending me these messages, so she started it. She did, and she started it with a negative intention. She was the one who turned the conversation negative. I was being very polite until she started insulting me. Jeez, I feel sorry for the child. OMFG, how dare you respond like that? More like you are ridiculous. I got a bunch more like these, but I think you get the point by now. People got so mad. And I don't quite understand why they're so mad. I got just as many people, if I'm honest, who messaged me saying, haha, this is hilarious, good on you. So it wasn't just like everyone got mad, but there were quite a few people who got genuinely mad. And the main thing people seemed to be mad over was the fact that I called the child a brat. Like, no one seemed to care about me saying learn English to the child. No one really cared about the parent's message. They said that was just laughable and the parent was ridiculous. But for some reason, everyone was all hung up over the fact that I called a child a brat. You know, that just makes me want to call all children brats. You know, the next time I get a message from any child, I'm going to say, you're a brat. And I'm going to start doing that in real life as well. When I see a kid, I'm going to go, hey, hi brat. If I ever have a child of my own, I'll call them Brat. Ryan Jr., your new name is Brat, okay? Anyway, I just wanted to make this video today to have a little bit of a rant, because it does annoy me a little bit when people say, oh my god, you're so rude. As if you thought anything else. As if I ever said I wasn't rude. If you're following me, if you watch my videos, you should know by now that I am rude, I am obnoxious, I am blunt, and I am, above all else, unapologetic. You should know what to expect if you follow any of my social media accounts. That's what I'm all about. I don't make any attempts to hide this from anyone. That's who I am, and it's not going to change. So yes, I am a horrible person. And until next time, you're all welcome, society.
Rag Reynolds, the coolest lad you'll find. Rag Reynolds, a Scottish mastermind. He's subject to everything he wants, and worship his every single word.